So they were able to
align the constellations
and move it to make it look like the event that happened that day.
It's like a Stargate.
A Stargate.
Yes, it was.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How's it going today?
If you don't already know, my name's Kathy.
My name's Tom.
And we're the Marvelous Donohues.
Marvelheads, welcome.
Welcome indeed,
I'm
everybody.
using a little loftier welcome these days because this is a lofty series we're watching.
Lofty. Okay. Him in these words, people.
Lofty.
But we are the Marvelous Donohues.
We are.
Like I said.
All day long, all week long.
And we are a Marvel Disney Plus television series review show. I'll say show because I think of it as a little comedy and a little variety.
And in case you haven't seen us before, we're going to break some kind of important news. We are the best. And I do
the best
Marvel DisneyPlus TV review show in the universe.
In the world.
Well, okay, I'll go with the world. Maybe not the universe, because there may be some other multiverses that may have a better review show than us, but I kind of doubt it.
I very much doubt it.
I doubt it.
But you guys, we are still reviewing Moon Knight. I got it right this time. Episode 4. We are ready to go.
I guess my fingers weren't working like that.
Yeah. Fingers aren't working. What's going on? It's like you falling apart.
Excuse me. Help me with my fingers, please, folks.
I'm like, what in the world?
Oh my goodness. This is craziness.
We are starting this one out with a bang, people. But welcome to episode 4. And we are going to go ahead and get started. You know what? We're going to take time to do a quick recap on episode 3 because if this is your first time here, we do not like to give away the ending of the previous episode.
That's right.
Usually start, we try to, now don't hold me to it, but we usually try to start with the ending of the previous episode, do a little quick recap.
Right.
So a quick recap of episode 3 is that Khonshu has turned the day in Egypt into night. And he and not Mark, but Steven are moving the constellations around so it can make a map to Amit's tomb.
And to enhance and to propagate the Stargate, which we talked about a second ago.
That's right, the Stargate. So they've got the Stargate open. They're able to figure it out with their little map. But because Khonshu has done this, he is being punished and he is returned to the tomb and entombed into a small statue and left Mark, Steven, and LAYLA on their own, because when he's entombed, no longer does Steven or Mark have the power of the suit. So they're just out. And
they're freelancing it, basically.
They are freelancing without the suit.
That's right.
Without the suit.
Or a suit.
I don't know what's going on.
On a suit.
His fingers aren't working. My mouth has some problems. So we're just, bear with us, people, okay?
Please bear with us. And if you haven't watched the previous episodes, our episodes, please stop right this minute and go back and watch the other 3. And you've got some catching up to do because you probably want to, as a kind of a cherry on the sundae, you want to watch the episodes of the Marvel TV show as well.
You do, you guys. We have a lot that we've talked about. We love Marvel and watch the episodes on television. And then that's Disney Plus. And then come back and watch our review show. And then comment. Let us know what you think. We love hearing from you guys. And we want you guys to be a part of the Marvelhead community. So now that we've done our recap, Tom, go ahead and take us into what we're going to be talking about today.
So where do we find our Khonshu-less heroes? We find Stephen, like, in the desert. He's lying there in the desert. His energy is sapped because of this constellation moving thing. And of course, and I'm going to give a big shout out to LAYLA, because this is really, in some ways, this was kind of a LAYLA show. I was trying to think of kind of a theme for this show. This is kind of LAYLA show, because she came in and she's kicking butt through the whole.
God.
She needs
Through the
double
whole
time
thing.
because she was kicking butt through the whole
She is.
episode. So she's trying to rescue Mark Steven. I'll just call him Mark Steven in the desert. Doing some crazy stuff with flares and all sorts of shenanigans. To go and to help him get revived. So he's revived. He's like, where'd all this kicking butt come from? Kind of thing. He was like this. I was like, oh. She's like, that's what I do.
I know. So, and as they're driving along, so they get back in their Jeep and they have everything they need and they're heading to find the tomb. So Stephen is still there, and he tells her about a deal that he made with Mark, that Mark would disappear after he was done and Khonshu had let them go. And of course, Mark is not gone. He is still in reflections, and he's saying, why on earth did you tell her that? And he's like, well, because you said it. We made a deal. So Layla's mad. She's like, what?
Seems like she's a little jealous. She kind of likes Steven a little bit. She likes Mark. She likes Steven now.
Well, you know what? I think that, remember we were talking about the two sides of anyone's personality, and people think about the astrological sign Gemini. There's two people living in one person, but it's actually this way with him. There's two people,
or is there three?
I know. They was like,
we're not sure. There's a mystery person maybe in there.
Was in kicking butt because they couldn't remember what happened.
If you remember that from the last video we had.
Right. But I think, to go back with what you were saying, is that she likes them both. She likes Stephen because Stephen is innocent and he's nice and he's sweet and he's also smart. He's interested in the same things that she's interested in.
And he's like a kid in a candy store. I told her this when we were watching the episode a while back, and I was like, he's like an innocent kid, just like a kid in a candy store when it comes to this Egyptian archaeology stuff, like Indiana Jones wanting to be, hey, I'm gonna go find the treasure. I'm gonna go find the artifact.
Because this is what he does. Well, not what he does. This is what Mark was doing, but this is what Stephen always dreamed about. When he worked in that museum, he knew more about that museum and those artifacts than the people that worked there, even though he only worked in the bookstore, because this is what he wants. So she's in love with both people. The Mark, who's like put on the suit, kicks some butt like I do, but also Stephen, who is gentle and sweet and smart like I am, So,
it raised a good question to me, is if you had a person who had two sets of attributes, two sets of personality, and you suddenly divorced one set, the kindness, the gentleness, the love, the generosity that Stephen had, or the assertiveness, I don't want to say aggressiveness, but the stick-to-itiveness, the spunkiness, the kick-buttness
that Mark
had. If you took that away, would they be a complete person?
I don't know, because right now, they are not. Well, they are and they are not. They exist separately, but they live within the same body.
And why is the manifestation of Stephen? Why is Stephen a British guy?
I know, right?
That's what she and I were like, look, why is he British?
I know.
Is he just more trustworthy, or
I know.
he's very good as a British guy.
He is, but why? Why is he British and Mark's from America, whatever. It's like,
and he shines in this episode. So he shines
really does.
in his archaeological knowledge. Because remember when we first started the whole series, it was like, okay, he was kind of a lowly, like a clerk in a bookstore in an Egyptian museum. But I'm like, this dude, he must have read every single darn book in the Egyptian museum.
So go back and we'll go back to the first episode. He was afraid to fall asleep. He was reading those Egyptian books. He had so many books around the house. Could you imagine how many hours he spent reading? Because one of the episodes, he was trying not to fall asleep. And he was reading. He was like reading, all of these things. So yes, he really shined, and he knew what he was doing.
Right. And they're still racing for the tomb of Ahmed, right? So they're still racing, and then Mr. Harrow coming back.
Yes.
And this is the LAYLA show, because LAYLA and he are getting into conversations, and he's trying to play some like mind games.
Yes.
LAYLA's got a kiss from Steven.
Yeah.
And of course, the funny part I thought was fun was that then Mark kind of resurrects himself and takes over control and bops himself in the nose, but he's trying to bop Steven in the nose.
Right.
So that was kind of funny.
Right.
I thought.
Yeah, it was. Because LAYLA, she loves him. She's married to him. She's like, oh, you even smell like him. And she's like, why wouldn't you? You are him.
Right.
And that's what, we have to realize. Steven is Mark and Mark is Steven, even though they said we're two different people.
Right.
But they're both the same person living in that body.
And just like I said again, I think it's the attributes of both combined together make the whole person. And and I think that, to me, that's what I think LAYLA's in love with. Right. That she didn't see that side of him with Mark, because Mark's kind of like if you were married to like Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hello, I'm going to get you. Okay, well, could you be a little more romantic? Yes, I can. Yes, of course. And you get that Steven attribute. Yeah. So I don't know if that was a good British accent or not, but anyway, hello. But that's what I thought. And so we go on, and we won't spoil the whole thing for you, but we get to the point where, and this is weird, I thought, is that they find the tomb of Alexander the Great. And I'm like, help us out. If you guys know, where would Alexander the Great's tomb be? I would thought it would have been in like Syria or something. But,
right. But it is in that region. Yeah. And my question, moreover, was why would the Egyptians give Alexander the Great a tomb?
Because I don't remember. I'll have to look my history books up, but I don't think he was Egyptian.
I don't think he was either. But think about this. If you guys don't know, it was Alexander the Great. His whole dream was to unify everybody. So he would not only go around conquering people, but he wanted everybody to intermarry, and he thought that would get rid of war and strifes if you all became one people, not just becoming and conquering, but having the fractions intermarry, have children, because he was thinking, well, you can't be killing your grandkids. You can't be fighting with your auntie. And that was really his whole thing. His thing was to conquer people and kind of win them over and say, you guys should be friends. Not only should be friends, you should be married. He wanted everyone to be together as one. But I was like, would that be, would the Egyptians have taken his tomb? Because Alexander the Great, he died super young.
Yeah, he was, in fact, I think as a historical irony, Jesus died, of course, when he was 33. And my understanding, if I remember correctly, Alexander died, and they say, of course, the rumor was that he actually was murdered, but he died he was also 33.
Right.
So it was very interesting. And in those days, being 33, that's a pretty big achievement.
Right.
To be
Yeah.
to be that old.
Right. You
A
were
lot of times
considered.
people don't live that.
They didn't
a lot of
live that
times.
long because of diseases and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But we're getting all off the bat. But you guys, the ending of this is
And
spectacular.
we will not tell you now.
Yeah.
I want you to watch it. We will recap it next week.
We'll recap it next week, but please watch. And this was so interesting. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave us a comment and hit that thumbs up button, because it really helps us in the YouTube algorithm.
Algorithm?
It's a thumbs up, because I don't know, but only if you like it. Like what we're doing, share it.
Yeah.
Come on back and have some fun.
Yeah,
you
let
know?
us know what you think of this episode, especially, we won't tell you now, like I said, but let us know about that ending, because
Right.
that I didn't see any of that coming. And we want to know what you think about it.
Right, and it's gonna delve into something I'm good at,
Yeah,
psychology.
she's a bus driver next
Yeah.
week, because she's taking us to school.
That's right, I certainly am.
Next stop, craziness. No.
But you guys, listen, we're so glad you joined
Yes.
us, and that's all we have for now. If you don't know, I'm Kathy,
I'm Tom.
and we're the Marvelous Donohues, and we will see you next
Have a
time.
good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.